Good afternoon, travel partners. I'm Rob Coleman, Vice President of North America Sales for Holland America Line. I'm here today with my colleagues, Kathy Larson, our Director for the Western Division of Holland America Line, and Lucy Owen, our Director of the Eastern Division for Sales of Holland America Line. We have the unique opportunity to present our 2025 Alaska program to you today together because we have been spending some time as a team working on our strategy and the programs that we are going to be putting into place for you and our teams in 2024. We're taking that opportunity to together present a very exciting announcement of our 2025 Alaska Cruises and Cruise Tour programs. For Holland America Line, this is the first time in my 24-year history that we have been able to open up not just one future year, but we are now opening a second future year of our Alaska program for our travel professional partners to sell to their guests who are interested in making plans even further out into the future. We want to make sure today that you understand all of the highlights of not just Alaska, but why Holland America Line is the best choice for you and your clients. To get us started, I also want to take a moment to thank you for your continuing efforts to focus on Holland America Line and to book your clients on all of our programs, whether it be to Alaska, the Caribbean, or on one of our grand world voyages around the world. So thank you for your continued loyalty and dedication to us. With that, we are going to move forward and talk to you about this very special program in Alaska. And I'm going to get started by asking my colleague Kathy to share what are the reasons that guests want to see Alaska?
There are 5 top reasons that people want to go to Alaska. The first one is they want to see glaciers. And Holland America Line offers you more ways to see glaciers, or offers your guests more ways to see glaciers than anybody else. They can get up close and personal to glaciers on one of our beautiful ships, or on any of the shore excursions, or on several shore excursions that offer glaciers by land or by air. We also offer great access to wildlife. Everyone wants to see wildlife when they go to Alaska. One of the best ways to do that is on a cruise tour, where they could do the Tundra Wilderness Tour and get into Denali National Park, where you might have the opportunity to see the top 5 wildlife species in Alaska: wolf, bear, moose, caribou, and Dall sheep. Also, more time on land. And again, that goes back to our cruise tours. We offer a great variety of cruise tours that pair one of our cruises with a land experience to Denali National Park and to see one of the most sought after attractions, and that is Denali, the mountain in Denali National Park. Also, we offer an up close and personal experience when you're on our ships and when you're on the land. So we really try to immerse you in the experience when you're there. We offer regionally inspired cuisine and destination programming. So we really give you a great opportunity to learn a lot about Alaska while you're there. And finally, the food, and especially the fresh local seafood. We offer sustainable local ingredients, and we have a program that started last year where we have wild Alaska seafood on board all our ships that has been designated certified sustainable, certified sustainable. And that is a new program that we're very proud of, that we offer on all of our ships in Alaska now.
It is exciting that we have made such a focus on sustainable seafood up in Alaska, because the one thing we want to make sure we do is leave that beautiful land in the pristine condition that we found it. Talking about when to go to Alaska, Lucy, one of the questions we're often asked is, when is the best time to visit Alaska?
Yes, Rob, that is the #1 question we get asked as advisors. I know that you're also asked this as well. So this is honestly one of my favorite slides. I love this because we're often asked, when is the season in Alaska? When is the best time to travel? And it really comes down to, what do your clients really want to see and do? The season runs from May through early October. And based upon when your clients really want to get out, maybe they want to know when best fishing is. And you can look at this and say from June all the way through September. And then possibly, you know, best bear viewing. So the best bear viewing is fantastic because you were there all the way from May through August. A lot of people want to see when the salmon are spawning. So there's something there for everybody. The best hiking, the fall foliage, some of the spectacular fall foliage in Alaska. You find that in the September, early October timeframe. There's even when is the best time for glacier calving, and that happens kind of in the August, September timeframe. And whale watching is at its peak throughout the season in Alaska, all the way from May through September. And, you know, wildflower season, that's always a favorite for many. So as we get into that early June timeframe and through the summertime. So there is something there for everybody, and also the northern lights.
I love this graph because it really does show all of the different things that Alaska has to offer, but it will also help travel advisors work with their clients to figure out when is the best time so they see the highlights that are most important to them. So Kathy, you mentioned earlier that we like to immerse our guests into the Alaska experience. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure, we feel like we really bring you up close and personal to Alaska. And with more than 75 years of experience in Alaska, we can bring you closer to all the special things that Alaska has to offer. We have great, insightful, entertaining talks on board in our world stage. We have inspired cuisine in our onboard restaurants. And we also have perfectly sized ships that are small enough to get up close to some of Alaska's natural wonders, but big enough to have a lot of the options that our guests are looking for on board.
Thank you, Kathy. Lucy, one of the things we do is infuse a lot of enrichment specific to Alaska into the experience on board. Can you share some of those details?
So there's an amazing, number of things that we do throughout on board, from, just when we're in Glacier Bay, to incorporate a number of really traditional Holland America items, from piping hot Dutch pea soup, which is definitely a Holland America Line tradition, which really kind of goes in hand with all of the ecosystem, the national park rangers during the popular glacier days that we have throughout Alaska. We have, onboard experts and native storytelling. So we have a team of experts on board that'll be helping spotting, wildlife while you're on the decks of the ship, possibly whales, or when you're in Glacier Bay National Park. And the onboard experts really bring all of the, the fauna and the flora to alive on board throughout of all of our onboard programming. The complimentary, binoculars for our suites and guests. And we also have designated viewing locations, which is really unique to Holland America Line, because when our guests are in Glacier Bay, we actually open up the bow of our ships. So our guests can go out to the, out in the bow of the ships and really enjoy that spectacular glacier viewing as you're coming close into the glaciers.
Lucy, all three of us have been to Alaska. And what I always appreciate about being on a Holland America Line ship up in the 49th state is that it's not just the spectacular beauty, but you understand why that particular area is meaningful from the experts that we have on board. Kathy, talking a little bit more about our cuisine on board, you mentioned that we have fresh and sustainable seafood. Any particular details that you can highlight in that area?
Yes, we're really proud to be the only cruise line to have earned the Distinguished Responsible Fisheries Management certification that guarantees that all of our ships sailing in Alaska serve only fresh, sustainable, and traceable wild Alaska seafood. So that's a lot, but the bottom line is we have excellent cuisine on board our ships, and you can taste all the great Alaska seafood that we have when you're sailing with us. We also have a program where if you want to do one of our fishing excursions, you catch your own salmon or halibut in the waters off of Juneau or Ketchikan, you can have it prepared and served to you right on board in our Savor My Catch program. So I think that's a great new addition too.
That really integrates the total experience, where they have the sport of going out and fishing and then coming back and enjoying the bounty from that. So that is certainly a great program. Guests also just love when we get into port to go out and explore, Lucy. What are some of the ways out on shore that guests can really experience the real Alaska?
Alaska offers something for everybody, from the mild to the wild. And it really, our shore excursions allow our guests to connect with the people, the culture, and the history of Alaska. And this is an opportunity where your clients can get up close and in person with, seeing Alaska's glaciers by foot, by bike, kayak or more. But, it gives us the clients the opportunity to see the 49th state, the glaciers, see the amazing wildlife, the sanctuaries, the sightseeing. There's something there for everybody. So if they want to do a culinary tour, we have partnerships with Food and Wine Magazine. They can do flight seeing, they can do heli hiking, they can land on glaciers, whale watching. There is something there for everybody.
There is, and at many different levels of activity. People can take it easy, or they can be as active as they want.
Absolutely.
In Alaska. That's one of the things that's just terrific about our the great land up north. Kathy, people often think that the only way to see Alaska is a cruise, and that is great if you have 7 days or you really love ship life. But what do you think the best way is to see all of Alaska?
Well, the best way to see all of Alaska is definitely with an Alaska cruise tour. I love Alaska cruising, and we offer so many different options for that, from 7 to 28-day itineraries. But if you really want to see all of Alaska or more of Alaska and the Yukon Territory, you've got to get off and get out onto the land and into the interior with one of our cruise tours. So seeing when you cruise in Alaska, you only see about 1%. So again, if you really want to have the full Alaska experience, doing a cruise tour is so important. And we have a wide range of itineraries for cruise tours as well. Now, right now, we only have our 2024 cruise tours available. The cruise is just opened, as we mentioned, but cruise tours are not opening until September. But we still have great options for 2024 if you have clients that still want to go this year.
Well, in a few minutes, we'll go ahead and give them some of the highlights of that 2025 cruise tour program. But Lucy, let's focus in on what people really love about the Alaska cruise experience and what they can do with glaciers. Tell me a little bit about the glacier experiences guests can have with Holland America Line.
So glaciers, everybody wants to see glaciers when they're traveling to Alaska. And our itineraries, we have anywhere from 7-day to 28-day itineraries, cruise itineraries in Alaska, including very convenient weekend departures. And I do want to mention we get prime docking in all of the ports. And with glaciers, our itineraries give you more, 2 or more ways, more opportunities to see glaciers. And it's so important that your clients can experience these incredible glaciers. They're awe-inspiring right from the deck of the ship, or they can do various different types of tours that get them really up close in person, whether it's heli hiking, landing on the glacier, dog sledding, which, Rob, is one of my favorites.
Is it?
Oh my gosh, dog sledding on the glacier is fantastic. You can fly over those massive ice formations and then, kind of just see this incredible view. Alternatively, your clients can really customize, and there might be something special they want to see. They can see glaciers definitely, in Denali National. You do a flight scene around Denali. So there's lots of different opportunities that your clients can take advantage of based upon what they want to do and how they want to see it. Whether they want to kayak, flight scene, dog sled, hike, so many choices.
Those are a lot of choices. One of the reasons people like to get out into the nature is glaciers, but it's also, Kathy, about the wildlife.
Absolutely. Everybody wants to see wildlife when they go to Alaska, and there is so much to see. Whether you're observing whales from one of our ship's decks, or getting into the interior and seeing moose, caribou, bear when you're on your way to Denali, there is just an abundance of wildlife. And with more than 250 different land excursions, we can bring you up close and personal to all kinds of wildlife. And anything from bald eagles, mountain goats, grizzly bears, sea lions, they're all there in Alaska just waiting for you to come visit them.
Lucy, where do you think are the best locations in Alaska to be able to really see some of that amazing wildlife?
It's interesting. Of the United States, the 10 largest national parks, so fewer than 7 can be found in Alaska. And 4 spectacular parks: Denali National Park, Glacier Bay National Park and Preserve, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and then Kenai Fjords and Wrangell St. Elias. So these are all areas that we're traveling to.
That is incredible. That is incredible. Kathy, let's start talking a little more specific about some of the cruises that we do offer up in Alaska, and what are the features that we think make us so unique to that area?
Well, one of the things that I want to start with first is that we've been sailing the Alaska waters since 1947, since before it was even a state. So we have the experience and we have the knowledge in Alaska to give your clients the best trip that they could have when they get up to the Great Land. We have more sailings that call on Glacier Bay National Park and Preserve than any other cruise line. We offer onboard specialists, including National Park Service rangers and wildlife experts while they're on the cruise. And we have perfectly sized ships. They aren't too big. You're not sailing with 5,000 other people, but they're just the right size to give you a front row seat to Alaska's beauty and splendor. And we also have prime docking locations. So when you pull into Ketchikan or Juneau, you are just steps away from everything that that city and Alaska has to offer. We really make it easy too with some of our convenient round trip departures from Seattle and Vancouver that allow guests to virtually leave from their doorstep.
Thank you, Kathy. I think that the program of cruises we have combine not only convenience, but also a number of different ways to cruise and see Alaska. Lucy, would you share what the highlights of those are?
Absolutely. Rob, we've got so many great itineraries. So you've got a choice of traveling round trip out of Seattle and on Saturday departures, which we include Glacier Bay, and you call it all those iconic southeastern towns. So a fantastic 7 days, great itinerary that suits so many for time away from work. So we've got Sunday departures for a 7-day inside passage, so calling it your iconic southeastern towns, Ketchikan, Juneau, Skagway, and of course Hubbard Glacier. We've got a lot of choices as far as glaciers. So really, the round trip to Seattle, it really does feature the convenient weekend departures and stops in Juneau, Quaint, Sitka, Ketchikan, and Glacier Bay or Hubbard Glacier. So there's lots of choices. And then our Glacier Discovery, which is a jumping off point for our cruise tours, are from Vancouver to Whittier or southbound. So you go northbound or southbound. So you've got Sunday departures. And what's great is on our Glacier Discovery, you'll get 2 glacier areas. So when you're traveling northbound, you're going to get Glacier Bay and College Fjord. And on a southbound Glacier Discovery, you'll get Hubbard Glacier and Glacier Bay, in addition to the iconic southeastern towns. And then we do have our round trip. It's a Sunday departure, Saturday, Sunday, or Wednesday departures, Alaska Inside Passage round trip out of Vancouver with calls at Glacier Bay, and of course the very iconic southeastern towns. So lots of great choices with our 7-day itineraries.
And with all those weekend departures, which just fit so nicely into people's schedule. And speaking of the vacation time that our guests have, Kathy, we do have something for people who have a little bit more time to spend in Alaska.
We do. We have 2 14-day sailings that we're offering, one in May and one in September. I love this 14-day itinerary. For people who've been to Alaska before on a 7-day and just would really like more ports and more sailing time in Alaska, this is a great option. It includes the ports of this kind of standard ports of Ketchikan, Juneau, and Skagway, but also goes to some lesser known or lesser traveled ports of Valdez, Kodiak, Homer, which is the halibut fishing capital of the world. It even goes all the way up to Anchorage and docks in downtown Anchorage, not at Whittier where we normally call for Anchorage. So this is a great itinerary for people who have 14 days.
Well, I would say that is the ultimate way to cruise Alaska, but we do have what I consider to be the pinnacle opportunity to see Alaska and even some more bucket list destinations. So Lucy, drum roll, we are repeating our incredible 28-day Arctic solstice cruise.
One of our legendary voyages. This is a favorite. Now this one in 2024, sold out in record time. So highly recommend that you get your clients ready, start marketing them, because it's a repeat. It's our 28-day Arctic Circle solstice. This is an incredible itinerary that's going to be round trip out of Seattle, 28 days, going all the way up to the Arctic Circle, and calling it wonderful Nome. You've got Kodiak, Dutch Harbor, Homer, overnight in Anchorage, Seward, just incredible, those wonderful southeastern ports, and of course glaciers. And this one is so popular, and it's right in time for the summer solstice. So it's actually perfect. So we really want to encourage you to start, make those phone calls, send out a direct marketing piece to your clients, and get them very excited about this itinerary that will sell out very fast.
This is the one to book now, if there ever was one. Kathy, we're going to talk now more about that Alaska cruise tour experience and what offering that Holland America has that makes it so unique. And then you're going to share a little bit about what we like to consider the Patagonia of North America. So can you share that?
Yes, our Alaska cruise tours are really a great way to get in and see the interior of Alaska, see more wildlife, to hopefully see the Denali Big Five, bears, moose, doll-shaped caribou, and wolves that I mentioned earlier, see them in their natural habitat. We offer more time on land and off the beaten path experiences, and more time in Denali. We offer 2 and 3 night stays in Denali, more than anyone else, that really give you time to be there and experience that national park. And it's 6 million acres. You can't see it in one day. So the more time your clients have to spend in Denali, the better. We can also take them to the Yukon Territory of Canada if they would like more pristine wilderness, a more pristine wilderness experience. And as Rob mentioned, often thought of as the Patagonia of North America, just beautiful mountains there. We have tours that take you direct to Denali. You can ride our premium glass dome McKinley Explorer rail cars, where everybody sits in the full glass dome section of the car. And it is a great experience to go straight from the ship to Denali or the reverse. And we also make it easy. So we have lots of different tours to choose from. And with our private rail cars, our own motor coaches, the luggage transfer that we do directly for guests, we just make it seamless when they travel with us in the interior of Alaska.
Lucy, Kathy just mentioned that they are our motor coaches and our domed rail cars.
Correct.
Can you tell us why visiting the Great Land with Holland America Line is so unique, and the fact that we own and operate so many of the venues and transport that guests will seamlessly experience on their vacation?
And that's the point, Rob. It is seamless. It's, you're traveling from, if you're traveling northbound in Holland America from, ship to shore, we own and operate. So it is a seamless, Holland America branded experience. And as Kathy mentioned, there's a direct to Denali on the McKinley Explorer, but the way our guests get from Anchorage, if they're in Anchorage traveling to Denali, is they can sit back, relax, and enjoy the unspoiled interiors that unfolds as they're sitting there having that spectacular views of traveling to Denali National Park. So they'll be riding through when they get into Denali, then they'll be staying at our own lodge, the McKinley Chalets, which are spectacular, rustic chic. They're nestled there on 60 acres of our privately owned land, which is about a mile from the park entrance. And our guests will stay 2 or 3 nights in Denali National Park. 1 to 3 nights, prefer the 2 and 3 night, because that gives them an opportunity to get further and deeper into Denali National Park. The lodge also features Denali Square, which, if you think about it, it's like the living room of your house. And it's a perfect place for your clients to, kind of relax and enjoy the meals. Carson's Public House, there's handcrafted local goods, an artist cabin, right there. There's open air amphitheater where we have park rangers and local musicians come and perform. And they're fabulous, cozy outdoor fire pits, which is a lovely way to enjoy one of those, long summer nights in Alaska.
It really is a spectacular campus, isn't it?
It is incredible.
And just a stone's throw away from what most consider to be the ultimate in Alaska experience is Denali National Park. Kathy, why don't you tell us a little bit more about Denali and why it's so special and the way we make it special?
Well, one of the ways is that we have you stay right there. As Lucy just said, we have you staying right at the gates of Denali National Park and Preserve, which is the 3rd largest national park in the United States. And it is spectacularly beautiful. You can really lose yourself in the 6 million acres if you had the time, but that's why we give you more time, or we offer tours with more time in Denali. So we offer 2 and 3 night stays in Denali. They're our most popular, and every tour that offers a 2 and 3 night stay includes the Tundra Wilderness Tour, which brings you deep into the park where you can see all of that untamed natural beauty while you're there, and hopefully see wildlife on your tour. The Tundra Wilderness Tour is the only way to get into Denali, as it is regulated by the Parks Department, and it's included with all the Holland America Line tours, as I said, that include 2 and 3 night stays in the park.
And it is so important to make sure people have every opportunity once they get to Denali and into the interior of Alaska to see all of that wildlife that they have come so far to see and have been hoping to see for so long. We really do maximize their opportunity to see it. So earlier we talked about the Yukon and how Holland America has many exclusives up there. And I think it's important to realize that there's a geographical border between the Yukon and Alaska, and we often use the term Alaska, but really it's just one incredible region, and we cover it with our tours and our cruise tours and our experiences. Tell us more about the Yukon.
Yeah, the Yukon is like stepping back in time. It is the seldom seen. It is, they talk about the spell of the Yukon. Once you travel there, it is unbelievable. It is, gets your travel all the way into the heart of what we call the untamed Yukon territory. And Dawson City boasts an intoxicating blend of sweeping landscapes, colorful false front buildings, and it's got this unmistakable character, just beautiful. It's like gold, going back in time, it's gold rush history. Gold mining is still the #1 industry in Dawson City as well. So and then we also travel to Whitehorse, and that's just a, charming, unique historical attractions. And then just traveling through just the vistas, the mountains, and the emerald green lakes, and the opportunity just to kind of experience the culture in the Yukon is just incredible. And a must and a highlight for all of our guests is when they ride aboard the very popular White Pass and Yukon Railroad, which kind of just takes in the whole gold rush history, that rugged beauty all throughout the Yukon. And all of our Yukon cruise tours include one of our tour directors. So they travel with our guests throughout. They remain on, without our guests throughout their journey throughout the land portion. They are knowledgeable, they are experts in Alaska, and they're there to just make sure that your clients have the best vacation ever.
Thanks, Lucy. And Kathy, let's talk a little bit about the individual journeys and how they are, how we structure our cruise tour program up to Alaska and into the Yukon. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay. So cruise tours specifically for the Yukon are offered from 9 to 18 days in length. So we offer these fantastic journeys that are perfect for guests who've gone to Alaska before and are really interested in seeing more of Alaska and more of that beautiful, pristine wilderness. If they really want to get back to nature, it allows for true disconnection from your everyday life and reconnect with the loved ones and relaxation as you're traveling. But it's just such a beautiful place to travel. And we spend more nights on land in Alaska and the Yukon than any other cruise line. And if you'd like to experience the essence of frontier living, then a Yukon tour is really going to be great for your clients. They can walk in the steps of the Klondike Gold Rush prospectors in the Yukon and really get a deep dive into Denali's splendor if they take a 3-day stay. And with our Yukon tours, we do offer 3-, 4-, and 7-day cruises with land. So we're the only ones that offer shorter cruises with land when you go on a Alaska and Yukon cruise tour.
Great. Thanks, Kathy. And Lucy, if we look at some of our Denali cruise tours, can you just perhaps highlight one that will showcase why our program is so unique?
Yeah, so we're looking right now at a D6, and that's our 3 nights. So we've got 2 nights in Denali. So this one is our direct to Denali. Kathy was talking about the direct to Denali, one of the itineraries. This particular one is a D6. So you actually will start, if you're doing the land first, start in Anchorage, and you'll take the train down to, you'll take the train, and you can explore up to Denali, 2 nights in Denali, and then motor coach all the way down to Whittier, and then begin your 7-day cruise. And you can do our itineraries either northbound or southbound. So we offer a range of 9 to 14-day itineraries. This D6 is definitely one of our most popular and a great one to become, very familiar with because it is the direct to Denali. You can still, can lengthen or shorten your trip overall by just taking one of our itineraries. But I want to say that, we specialize in 2 and 3 nights in Denali, and that's where all of our 2-3 night Denali cruise tours include the longer tundra wilderness tour into Denali National Park. So it really just is a great way for your clients to see and experience. And we know that the number one reason they want to travel to Denali is to see and experience Denali.
Kathy, you mentioned that Holland America Line pairs the Yukon with Denali on some of its cruise tours. Could you share a little bit about that?
Sure. So this particular tour is Y2. It's one of our popular tours for people that have a little bit more time. So this is a 14-day. And just as with the Denali Cruise Tour programs, the Yukon also offers a range of departures. And similarly, the higher the number of the package, the shorter the trip will be. So this is Y2, so it's one of our longer ones. It is 14 days, but it's very comprehensive. What I really like about this tour is that it offers 2 nights in Dawson, 2 nights in Denali, and 2 nights in Anchorage, so that guests aren't having to move every night when they're on land. So this is a very relaxing tour, and also includes a 7-day cruise at the end of it. I mentioned that we do offer Yukon cruise tours that have 3 and 4-day cruises as well, if they'd like a shorter cruise experience, but this particular one has a 7-day cruise included.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Kathy. Lucy, sometimes for travel advisors, selling cruise tours feels a bit overwhelming because there's so many options and so many variations. But we do have tools to make it clear and efficient so that they can put their guests on their clients on the most appropriate and the most desirable tour.
Absolutely.
So can you share a little bit about those tools?
Yeah, so this particular, graph actually will show you what's included based upon the tour that your clients are selecting. So whether the, McKinley Explorer is included, what is included, whether there's, Tundra Wilderness Tour included in the actual itinerary. And one of the important things, and Rob, we get this question all the time, are meals included on the land?
And what is the answer to that question?
Meals are not included on the land. So, and it is really important, and we have the Great Land Dining Plan. So clients and it's very important to be the best advisors. Make sure you're advising your client based upon what is included and what is not included on the cruise tours. And having the dining plan really kind of takes the hassle out of planning, and it really is kind of arranged them. So there's different plans. You could choose a breakfast, lunch, or dinner, which is our full dining plan. They can also choose a breakfast plan and also a Denali dining plan. So there's lots of different options to choose to suit everybody's, dining preference, whether they just want to have breakfast and be able to explore and go out and eat local fare. So it really gives your clients not only value, but you can also earn commission on this as well. So the dining plans are commissionable. So we always look at ways that you can include and enhance the experience and convenience for your clients, but also an opportunity where you can earn some commissions.
Well, that sounds like a win-win for both the client and the advisor.
And this is a great chart. I definitely screenshot this one. It will also be in our brochures. Yeah.
So with the launch of our 2025 program, we do have some enticements for those that are interested in planning and booking their 2025 Alaska vacation. How does that work, Kathy?
Well, hopefully everybody on this call is familiar with our Have It All program. If you're not, it includes specialty dining, shore excursion credits, a beverage package, and our surf Wi-Fi package. And this is a great program that we started a while ago, and hopefully, again, you're adding this to your clients' packages when they book Holland America Line cruises. But when we come out with a new product launch like this one, we also have the early booking bonus Have It All. And what that does, it upgrades the beverage package to our elite beverage package. It upgrades the Wi-Fi package, and it adds prepaid crew appreciation or gratuities. So it is a great added value and is a really good reason for clients to book early. So here are some tips for making the most of this Alaska product launch. Hopefully you have a list of your top clients ready for this launch. And those might include people who are interested in visiting Alaska, have expressed an interest to you. You can pair this list with your favorite way to market and share what you're most excited about with from this new product update with them, and let them know about the bonus Have It All promotion that's on right now.
Thanks, Kathy. And that program is offered to all guests, whether they're new to Holland America, it's their first cruise, they're new to cruising, or in any combination. But you know, Holland America Line is really fortunate to have a loyal Mariner alumni program of guests that have sailed with us repeatedly. Lucy, do we do anything special for those guests?
We do. When we come out with product launches, we've got great enticement for our mariners. And as you know, our mariners are so loyal. And so this is another opportunity really for, for sales conversion, is to target your past Holland America guests, our mariners. And these loyal travelers, we know they love the brand, they love the experience, and they're always looking for new ways to enjoy their favorite destinations and itineraries. So always want to think about, and Alaska is a perfect opportunity. We have so many itineraries, and I think even the 28-day summer solstice would be a great one for our mariners. But we offer our mariners an onboard credit up to $400. So there's a great incentive for our mariners to book once that, we've got the launch of the Mariner offers. So we really want to make sure that you leverage the Mariner offers, leverage the early booking bonus opportunities, and really important is emphasize Holland America Line's 75-year history, our privileged access to Glacier Bay, and our wide variety of Glacier Bay, glacier viewing opportunities, wildlife opportunities, and then very important is, as we've been talking about, the exclusive access into the Yukon.
Kathy, we often find that Alaska is a destination where people really like to go as a family or as groups of friends, or with people of an organization that all decide that they want to go to the Great Land together. Do we do anything special for groups in Alaska, or anything that Holland America uniquely does that they can offer at this time?
Absolutely, we do. And Holland America loves groups. So if you have groups, or if you've not been doing groups, one of the things to ask your Alaska clients is, who's going to go with you on this trip? Because they may have friends or family or others that want to join them, and you can turn a single booking easily into an Alaska or Yukon group. So we have a wide range of options to meet every group size. If you've never done a group with us before, we're very easy to work with on groups. We have a group menu that has gap items that you can choose from to add additional amenities to the group. We have a small affinity group program for groups that are 24 guests or fewer. And with that one, you just need to talk to your business development manager about getting that set up. We have shore excursions that you can do on a group basis, and we also have tour conductor credits that you can earn, one free space for every 15 paid guests booked. So we have lots of benefits for doing a group with us.
Thank you, Kathy. And with that, I think we're at the close of our presentation. But before we wind up, we probably have a few questions. And Lucy and Kathy, I'm going to go ahead and offer one recommendation I have to travel advisors for what they should think about when considering how they can sell and promote Holland America Line to Alaska. And I'll go ahead first, and then I'll let each of you offer a recommendation. So my recommendation is never underestimate those that have already been to Alaska. And after they have seen Alaska, they realize how much there is to see in the many different ways that you can go into the interior and different regions. So when looking at selling and promoting, don't discount those that have already been in Alaska. You might be surprised at how many want to go back and experience it in new light. Lucy, do you have a recommendation?
Yeah, I'd say, what Alaska appeals to first-time cruisers.
It sure does.
Yes. So you want to make sure, even those clients that have never even considered a cruise before, you want to talk to them about visiting Alaska, what it has to offer. And from a group side, really lean into your affinity groups. There's so many great opportunities for you to really kind of grow your Alaska business and through the affinity groups. So lots of great choices there.
And Kathy, if you could offer a parting piece of advice on Alaska to our travel professional friends today, what would that be?
I would say thank you for joining, because you obviously want to learn more about Alaska because you're on this or attending this presentation today. If you're not as familiar with Holland America's Alaska and the cruise tours that we offer, I know it can be a little overwhelming when you first start. So look at each of the 2 different cruise tour groups that we have, Denali Cruise Tours and Yukon and Denali Cruise Tours, and pick one within each of those sections and really get to know it very well. We gave you some pictures today of a couple of different tours. Those would be great ones to start with. And then every other tour within that section is really just a minor variation. So it can really help you get to know the tour so that you can present them to your clients more easily.
We've offered a lot of information, a lot of tips, and a lot of ways that our advisors can sell Holland America. But I think one of the best ways to really make sure that they have the understanding and tools and support is to reach out to your Holland America Line inside sales representative or business development manager who can assist with more information on the incredible 49th state, ways you can promote, perhaps have a cruise night event to bring in consumers to talk face to face. We are here to assist you in closing sales to Alaska. And we are so hopeful and we are so grateful for the many years that you have been working with us. So with that, we are going to see if in our chat there are any questions that our moderator, Laura, may have captured that would be of interest to all of our attendees. Laura, any questions?
Hi all. There have been a few. Mostly they'd like to see the slides because your guys' slides are awesome. So we're definitely gonna work on sharing those. I'm actually going through the last few. We've got Gabe who's gonna be on board with us in 2024. So that's awesome. He was asking about that. I think one that I've got more than one of, the Mariner Society members OBC for 2025 sailings. Is the Mariner Society members only OBC for all 2025 sailings?
That is available during the early booking bonus period for 2025. So yes, that is correct.
A lot of thank yous. So let's see. Lots of thank yous. Thank you, thank you. Thanks, guys. These are awesome.
Well, thank you, Laura. I think that will allow us to conclude our presentation today. We are so appreciative of the chance to share Holland America Line's 2025 Alaska Cruise and Cruise Tour program, and we hope that you found this informative. I also would like to thank my colleagues, Kathy and Lucy, for sharing their expertise on the Great Land. We look forward to working with you in the future, and we are grateful for your commitment to Holland America Line. Have a great afternoon.